Live, apparently. Hello, everyone. That's great because there's nothing on my screen. So Declan will work out what's happening with the screen. You know, I was listening to Nick Ferrari this morning on LBC. I don't know if you know Nick Ferrari. I do listen to Nick Ferrari every day. He has a very balanced view of news, but there's a couple of slots that he has in the morning that are invaluable to me, particularly at this time. So he has this economist that comes on. I think I've mentioned him before. Here we go. The screen's working. So I think I've mentioned him before. So I listened to him. Anyway, even he said this morning, he said that comms are crazy. It's crazy for everybody because there's such a load on comms at the moment that everybody's having problems, even the radio stations. So I said, wow, that's interesting and good to know. So in talking about problems with comms, we've got plenty of room on our webinar today. So as you know, we have a very large registration, but actually it finishes our large registration quite soon. We go to a smaller registration, but that's okay. So if you have any problems, just go out and come back into the room again. We have got at the bottom of the screen, and I can see you're already all in the chat, so that's great. So join in the chat there, everybody. That will be really, really good that you do that. I can see some because the screens are way away from me, so I can see, let's see, I can see Mags and Carly, Perry, Kim and Leanna, Sandy, hello, Michelle, hi, Anna, Helen, I can see there, but I'm not in, Alicia, I can see there, but I'm not in control very much of what's happening. Georgia, hi, Naomi, Abby. Whilst Naomi has popped up there, I just want everybody to know the Welsh salons, Scottish salons, and anybody in Leicester who's not working, which actually won't be anyone from Barry Stephen, because although they've had to close one salon, they are the other three well, they've closed the salon, they've had to close the salon and 2 barbershops, but 3 salons are up and operating, and so they are able to accommodate everybody. But my point is that there will be a webinar next Wednesday, and it's mostly for the Welsh salons, right? Because I don't want it to be Wednesday morning and everybody in England's back to work and you're not. Although you'll only be a week or so away, but let's have a little, we'll have a little Welsh time next week, and any Scottish salons as well that are joining us. So let me just have a look at the numbers in the room. Of course, everyone's busy getting their salons, trying to put them back together. And if you can see my nails, I've been in the warehouse. We've been in there from 6 in the morning until 10 at night. Trying to get all your orders out. So thanks for all your orders. That's absolutely great. You know, it's great to see some of you really being brave with your retail. You know, so that when the rubber hits the road, right, you're really going for it. And I'm so glad to hear that. My own salon's included. So there should be a lot of the Feathers team on this webinar too today. We're really excited to get going, and they've really been very excited about seeing their clients again and making the most of what's happening. So what we're going to do today, I'm going to, I know everyone's busy, I'm going to try and keep it quite brief. If you've got questions, it doesn't like that. If you've got questions, put them in the blue box and we will deal with them. But by now, I think most of our, or maybe they're not. If you've got questions, you put them in the blue box. But I'm really going to repeat, and I hope you don't mind repeat. Don't all drop off now, all the numbers. Don't all drop off. What I'm going to do is repeat the webinar that I did for stylists way back in May, when we thought that Boris was going to give us a May opening. And it really talks a little bit about dialogue and what to do. You see, when we get back in the salon, please, everybody, keep the chat, keep it positive. You know, one of the goals I've got for my salons, and if you're on here, I consider you my salon. One of the goals must be that the client walks out of the door and says, this is the best experience I've had for 3 months. You know, we're so lucky. People book in, you know, in abundance. They can't wait to see their hairdresser. They're so excited to see us. It's amazing. Listen to this very carefully. It is possible you are the first person to touch that client for over 3 months. It's possible that nobody has been allowed to be as close to her, right, as you are going to be allowed. What an honor and a privilege. For over 40 years, I've been in this industry, and I have really wanted to see us elevated. You know, I elevated myself. When I went into hairdressing, my father was devastated. And my father said to me, if you're going to do hairdressing, if there's no dissuading you from that, he said, then you've got to go and you've got to be the best, right? And that's what I set out to do. And I tried from the beginning of my career. I always tried to stand out from everyone else, to be as professional as I could. And I'm sure that you are all the same. This is our opportunity. This is our opportunity now. And it starts from Saturday, and it's so, so exciting. So we're very honored. We're very privileged. We're suddenly revered. People have realized how important we are. And so we want to keep that positivity in the salon. We don't want to be talking to clients about coronavirus, COVID-19, what you did in lockdown. The client doesn't want to hear it, and we don't want those conversations going on. We want to keep it nice and positive, forward focused, nice and professional, all about hair. The reason why the client's missed you is not because of the chit chat she has. She's missed you because her hair has been a mess. Look, I've not done my roots, right? I have stayed in solidarity. Look at those. Oh my word, right? Declan's you don't need to focus in, Declan, right? So there you go. As far as the haircut is, the hairstyle is concerned, I mean, I've chopped bits. Of course, I've cut my fringe. I've chopped bits off here. I haven't cut anything off the back. Look, you can see the difference between the sides and the back. Carly's doing mine for me at the weekend. I cannot wait. So I've got my appointment. So that's really all very exciting. So could we have the presentation, Declan? Because I'm not in control, you see, here now. Let's have the presentation. Okay, so I've taken a couple of bits out that are not relevant, that they were relevant then, but they're not relevant now. But let's talk about dialogue. That's really what we want to talk about. What do you do when clients, you know, mostly out of politeness, you know, they start conversations or etc., etc. So let's have the next slide, Declan, if we can. So we are the pioneers of the new. Okay, here's something about the visor. One of the things that, like, you know, it's all cool, it's all okay. The thing about the visor is this: we now have to wait for somebody to tell us that we don't have to wear it anymore, right? Declan's about to pass me. Here you go. So here we go. And when these first came into our warehouse, I wore this for about 4 hours, and I'm sure you've all practiced with yours. And if you haven't had an opportunity yet, you know, I was at my computer and I was working. And I forgot I had it on. It's the truth. And I picked up I had a cup of tea, and I picked up my tea, and I went like that straight into the visor. But the thing about the visor is we now have to wait for somebody to tell us that it's okay to cut hair without it. By the way, just so that you all know, you only have to wear it whilst you are like physically working on a client. If you are, let's say you're sanitizing, you're sweeping the floor, whatever you might be doing in the salon, you're not required to wear it at that point. this is really part of the 1 meter plus rule. But we're the pioneers of the new. We're the future makers, because I do believe this will change hairdressing forever. I do believe that, and I'm sure many of you do too. But it's an opportunity for us to move forward in a very, very positive way. And not all hairdressers will. We know that. Some people have been cutting hair in gardens, for goodness sake, allowing people to come into their salons, like putting blinds down and people coming in through back doors and the such like. That's not who we are. And this is our opportunity to actually separate ourselves from those kind of people. Now, I don't know what your experience is, but at Feathers, we've had a bombardment of new clients. And there was one client that actually, she popped up on the Feathers Facebook, and I'm part of the group that monitor that Facebook page, especially through lockdown when some people were furloughed. And so she popped up and she said, oh, I'm a client of yours and I'd like to go on your wait list. And so I was like, yeah, that's fine. And can you please tell me your name? And I went onto the Salon IQ to find her. She hadn't visited us since 2016. Now, I don't know where she's been between 2016 and 2020, but what I'm delighted about is that when she has to make a decision about who she's going to trust, she chose us, right? So it's a great future ahead of us, as long as we don't mess it up. I keep thinking about Don Bewley, because I'm sure, I mean, you know, we're all excited, but who's got that little, and you can give me a Y, I can see you come up there on the screen. Who's got a little like butterfly in the tummy, a little bit of like, I don't want to call it anxiety. It's not as hard as anxiety, but a little bit of what is it going to be like? Yes, and I'm glad. Please all respond, because I want you all to see how everybody else feels. And if yours is an anxious, yes, excited and anxious, I think that was Maria. We had a conversation yesterday, Maria, via whatever that thing is, that app that you and I do. What is it? Marco Polo. So excited and anxious. If you're not, put an N there. All right, but let's have a little quick poll here, and let's see how many people feel that way. It's been bothering you, Michelle, that you feel that way. Well, and that is why, yeah, Don would say, don't fuck it up. Excuse my language, but he would. Who's that put that? Daniel, yeah. So that's why we're in a group, everybody. And for those of you that are really busy getting your salons together, and you've taken the time to come on here and we all spend time together, kudos to you, right? Kudos to you. I actually thought I might be sat here all by myself this morning with a few stylists, you know, that are not yet engaged in getting ready. So kudos to you coming on and spending the time. I won't waste your time today. It'll be really, really, I promise, you know, this will be just a little boost that you need. So nobody said no, that they're not worried. Everybody's got a little anxiousness, right, about going back, including me. And I don't do hair, right? I've got butterflies in my tummy as well. So, but it's okay, guys, because it's at the end of the day, it's about the fundamentals, right? And you all know the fundamentals, and that's good. So, you know, your fundamentals are what got you to where you are. And we were already successful and doing okay. But, you know, we've had the opportunity to upgrade our knowledge and to do training. Now, I want to tell you at this point, if you've got time between now or whenever you've got time, all of the webinars we have done, with the exception of a couple, are on YouTube. So go to the Passion for Hair YouTube channel. Everything we've done is there for you to rewatch. And the census videos that Jude did with, not Maurizio, with Michele, they are on the Passion for Hair Stylist hotline. They'll be there forever, okay? So all of that stuff is there. Yesterday, one of my stylists messaged me last evening. She said, Debbie, I just want to thank you for everything you've done. And also, she said, I want to thank you, all the webinars that we've done and all the training we've done. I'm really excited to get back. So well done to you all for engaging yourself in that way, and you return back to the salon a better hairdresser you were before you went off. I mean, that's a fantastic positive. So when we look at the purple stuff, this is, write some of this down. Don't say it in my words, say it in your own, but read it and read it and read it and have this dialogue ready. You know, when we're in the salon and we're in our rhythm and we're doing what we're doing, there are some dialogues that you repeat over and over and over again. So get yourself some dialogue ready so that you don't get flummoxed or you don't know what to say, or you get sucked into a conversation that you don't want to be in. Okay, so if a client says well, the dialogue in this particular topic is, I'm excited to be able to make a positive impact on the future of the hairdressing industry, because that's what we're doing. If people ask you, how is it, where in the visor, well, new things and ways are never easy, but we're committed to doing the best we can, right? We don't want to hear, oh, it's hot, oh, when I speak it bounces back. We don't want to hear any of that. Okay, we just want to tell the client new things are never easy, but we are doing the best we can, because that is what we're doing, and it's actually what the client wants to hear. Because if we're feeling a little bit nervous and anxious, despite the fact that our clients are dying to get their hair done, they also are feeling a little nervous and anxious. Many of them might not have been out of the house except to go to the supermarket like very often. I am dying to support a restaurant at the weekend, right? I'm not dying to go out to eat. Daniel is when I met Daniel was a chef, right? He's worked in some of the best restaurants in Europe. So I'm not dying to go out to eat. Actually, when I go out to eat, I'm often disappointed because the food's not as good as the food we have at home, okay? But I am dying to go out and support a local restaurant. And I've been thinking about it this morning, driving to work. Which one should I choose, right, of restaurants around us? But I've also been thinking about, but do I really want to? What will it be like? Will anybody be sat near me? What will I do if I'm not comfortable? Will I speak out, right? Don't be surprised if your clients turn up with their own sanitation wipes and they start sanitizing their own chair, okay? So it's a new way. We're committed to doing the best we can. Declan, the next slide. Now, remember this, we talked about this. This is a very, very famous part of John Steinbeck is one of the most famous authors in America. In fact, he's considered a classic author, and at school in America, John Steinbeck is one of the authors that pupils have to study. And here is what he wrote. John Steinbeck wrote this. It is my considered opinion that the hairdresser is the most influential person in any community. When the public goes to a hairdresser, something happens to them. They feel safe. They relax. The hairdresser knows what their skin is like under the makeup. They know their age. They don't have to keep up any kind of pretense. People tell a hairdresser things they wouldn't dare confess to a priest, and they are open about matters they'd try to conceal from a doctor. When people place their secret lives in the hairdresser's hands, the hairdresser gains an authority few other people attain. I have heard hairdressers quoted with complete conviction on art, literature, politics, economics, childcare, and morals. I tell you that a clever, thoughtful, ambitious hairdresser wields a power beyond the comprehension of most people, and that's you. So that's how we're going back, right? That is our modus operandi. When we go back, that is us. So the next slide, please. Deck, and I want to see one of my gents' message, and never mind being excited for the pubs, I need my hair done. Yeah, that's good. So so we already talked about we are blessed. Clients are going to trust us. We've got the opportunity to go back. Now, remember this. You are a stakeholder in that business. Play your part. Be responsible. Do everything you can to make your business work. Our businesses have been closed for more than 3 months. There is no shame today in saying, I'll tell you, you know, my salons financially are on their knees, right? We need this busyness, but being busy for the next 3 weeks is not going to solve it. Okay, we've got to make sure that those clients that come in, you know, we've got to make sure we make the best of the opportunity. We've got to rebook those clients. We've got to ask them to make a review for us. We've got to ask them to recommend their friends to us, right? It's really, really important to do that. Last night, one of my managers had been in the salon until 10 o'clock last night. We had the decorators were still in there on Monday. They finished Monday night, so they've got a lot to do to put the salon back together. And one of the stylists had stayed with her. They were there till 10 o'clock last night. She said, thanks ever so much for staying with me, you know, till 10 o'clock. And this stylist said, this is my salon too, and this is my career. That is a winning attitude. That has made me so happy. Gives me, it's about the 4th time today that I've told that story, and it's still giving me goosebumps. So, are we awake in this lesson? Yes, if you're on here today, I know you are. Daniel has coined a phrase. He called it, and it's happened over the last couple of weeks. He called it webinar fatigue, right? People are, so you know, there was a height of webinar when people couldn't go out of the house. And then over a period of time, the numbers have gone down and down. You know, when we talk about the extra mile, and I always say the extra mile is great because when you go there, there's not very many people there. I'm having a look. Yep, I can see, right? There's not very, there's more than I expected actually, but you know, kudos to you for being here. So let's show up and shine and let's reap the rewards. So if clients ask you questions, you can say I've been diligent in keeping up with new information, because you have. And we've spent time further educating ourselves and ensuring we have new measures and protocols in place. And I know every single one of you have learned something new and something different. And that's fantastic because we've had the time for that. Oh, and Georgia is there. There's 12 of us here watching in the salon. That's amazing. Hello. Hi, GMs. And hello, you all. Fantastic. And that's the spirit. And Emma, thank you. Emma Hassa, she must have sent me 5. They're all up on my wall. She must have sent me 5 cards. Emma Hassa sent me 5 cards. I'm sure it might even be, I'm sure it's 5. And she sent other people cards as well. That's so nice. And tons of people have sent me gifts and gifts and cards and messages. It's been amazing. Last week, I every time I got home, there was a parcel and there was stuff sent here to Passion for Hair and flowers, and thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate it, but I do it because I love this industry, you know I do. So next slide, please, Declan. And I can see, 12 in the Braintree salon. So actually, I'm looking at the numbers here, but there's 24 people in two buildings there. Okay, so the situation is ever changing and we're all learning, and it's still ever changing. All right, so I'm sure that we were all a little shocked to see Monday the events unfolding when they've shut Leicester City down. It's terrible. So I've told my team, my Feathers team, this, right, but I want to tell all of you, and Passion for Hair. I'm the same at Passion for Hair. I tell them, don't go out and about, please. Because if you go out and about, you're putting us all at risk, right? So please be very, very careful. Don't be complacent, right? Don't put your health, your colleagues' health, the business, don't put it at risk. You know, let's be as sensible as we can. A positive outlook is really imperative. We've got to stay flexible and in a state of high alert, right? So keep yourself in a state of high alert. Keep everyone safe in the salon. I told my team, there's no need for anyone to go into the staff room, the laundry. They're doing no laundry. They're making no refreshments, right? Please, all the time on the salon floor. And if you're not engaged in an activity with the client, look around and ask yourself, what should I be sanitizing? What should I be doing? We're leaving our steamers up in the salon, and we'll steam the basins halfway through the day if they're all free, right? So clients can see that we are really diligent about keeping ourselves and them safe. So stay connected, right? So stay connected to your teams. It's so great to see all of your teams. More areas on the way, it says on the news. Yeah, I saw that, Bradford. Yeah, I know. Yeah, keep your steamer out. It is such a good idea. Of course, be mindful of your leads, you know, with health and safety, etc., etc. But stay connected, everyone. So we are going to keep doing these webinars. We're not going to do them as often. And if you have found them valuable, which everybody here clearly has, then you know, make a promise to yourself that you will stay connected with others, because without that connection, I wouldn't have got through it talking to these screens all by myself. Remember, in the early days, even Declan, you know, wasn't there. He was in his house separate to me, so I found it invaluable. I really have. I could actually, if I wanted to, if you know, there is a little actress inside of me, in case you've not worked that out before, I could actually make myself cry now. But seriously, you know, in those early days it was difficult. Let's remember that connectivity and let's stay connected, because it shut, you know, the power of you know, of how everybody's able to go back feeling so positive is so good. So, and everyone's important, think of others. So the answer's yes. What's the question? Right? Adopt that. The answer's yes. What's the question? I'm committed to doing whatever I can and always my best. And when you need some help, it's okay to say, I need some help, right? Whatever it might be. Over the next couple of days, my managers and I are going to send lots of really positive messages through going live in our group to the team, you know, to help, you know, help carry them through the waves of emotion that they're going to have over the next couple of days. And then when we get the clients in the chair, you know, we're going to have some problems on our hands, right? And so it's really important that you know, we know that it's okay to say, I need some help. I wasn't expecting this. Oh gosh, you know, this client's you know, I had no idea. She hasn't told me previously. We're doing digital consultations now. It's a mammoth task, but I'm sure we're still going to get some situations that we're not expecting in the chair. I want to now, at this point, I want to, not in it, well, I just want to make sure that everybody has thought about this. When we have a situation where clients have to come back for a redo, whether it's because they don't like it or it's because we've not quite got it right the first time, I want us to think about this. So when we have clients come back for a redo, what happens is that the client gets really upset because she's got to invest more time. She gets upset because emotionally, you know, having your hair not quite right is upsetting, right? And so she comes back. Now, I want us to think about this. If we have to have a client back a second time, we're going to have to put her at risk a second time. That is how she's going to see it. Okay, so it's really important that we get it right. If we can't get it right, don't do it. Okay, don't do her hair if we can't get it right. So if you need help, you must ask for it. Okay, it's okay to ask for help. It doesn't you know, questions are good. It doesn't show that you don't know what you're doing or you can't work it out for yourself. Next slide, please, Declan. Emma says her computer's just gone. You can get on your phone. So remember, every client is a new client, right? Because no one's had their hair done by a hairdresser for 3.5 months. And if you want to count the hairdressers who open the back door, and does that mean I can do it myself? Okay, oh, that's cool. He hates being told what to do by me. No, I just need the bathroom. So every client's a new right. You see anyone who's had their hair done by a hairdresser in the garden, right, or my next door neighbour's a hairdresser, or any of those stories that I've heard, right, or going into back doors of salons that have got blinds down, that's not a hairdresser to me, right, because that's not professional. That's falling below the standard to which the rest of us rise above, right? So, and I know that many of you are I know that many of you you've got frustrations about what's going on around and about you. So every client is a new client, right? This has got to be a new haircut. Even if it's the same haircut I had before, it's got to be a new haircut. The colour, it's got to be a new colour. We've talked about that on our webinars. Now, be ready. You're going to only have a couple of days' notice. And, you know, hopefully everybody is. Consult your client before the day. That's what we talked about. Since your last visit, what have you used on your hair? So let's find out. We've found situations where clients are booked in for highlights, right? But they have coloured their own hair at home. Now, if we just go straight in there and highlight the hair, you know, we're going to end up with, it'll be white here, but it'll be orange here, right? That's a very basic excuse example that I'm using, but everybody understands what I'm trying to say. So, you know, we may have to on the day say to the client, I can't do for you what you want. I can do this to stick an elastoplast on it, and then we'll have to book you another appointment to do it at another time. But remember this, don't judge. Okay, everybody, I've said this so much over the last 3.5 months, because it is 3.5, isn't it, by the time we get back. Everybody's living through the prism of their own beliefs, right? Everybody's living through the prism of what is right for them. And so if a client says, oh, I'm so sorry, I did this, I did that, whatever, you say, it's okay, I totally understand. I just need to know exactly what you've done, so that I can formulate properly for you and I don't make a mistake. Gosh, wait a minute. He's told me I can do this. I can't get the mouse to go on the thing. Bear with me, everyone. Oh, my word. I'm nearly there. Yay, next slide. So let's talk about some sanitation, and we know a little bit more now. I went to my chiropractor and she charged me double as it was a reassessment appointment, and they explained this to me on the phone. So it's a similar thing to us. I was pleased to see her. Yeah, that's interesting, and it's good. If you've got this feedback, people, put it on there. Didn't think about the cost as the service was so good. Yeah, of course. Well, and you're just glad to get back. So it's very important that you only attend work if you feel 100% well. And this is not an excuse for people to start taking stupid time off. Like, listen, everybody, and listen carefully. Our businesses are on the line and our jobs are on the line, right? So don't start. As a business owner, my nerves are frazzled. I promise you. I am on the edge. I have spent that many sleepless nights, and I'm sure I'll have some more. So please don't start playing games. So when we talk about only attend work if you're 100% well, I'm not talking about, you know, you've got a headache. You know what I'm talking about. We now have 3 symptoms that we have to look out for, and they are a persistent cough, a fever, high temperature, or loss of taste or smell. And I don't know about you, every morning the first thing I do is I go to try and make sure I can still smell what's going on. So frequent hand washing and sanitizing. This is really important. This is how you keep yourself safe, right? By frequent hand washing and sanitizing. Look, I promise you, I don't go anywhere without my sanitizer in my pocket. Okay. Here at Passion for Hair, I'm always saying to everybody, where's your sanitizer? Where's your sanitizer? Sanitize your hands. That's how you keep yourself safe. Don't touch your face. Science says that the only way that they know so far that this is transmitted is through your mouth, your nose, or your eyes. Okay, so don't touch your face. If you have to touch your face, right, you've got to, and it's taken me a while to train myself, but I'm trained now to not touch my face. If you want to touch your face, sanitize your hands first. Give them a real good sanitized, right, all the way to the ends. Okay, remember to get into your nails, right? I've got short nails at the moment. I've got my rings back on, but I've had my rings off for a while, right? Now, and then you can touch your face. you know, the way you present yourself and your image is important. I'm still trying to find out, I've had a request from one of my stylists, is she allowed to personalize her visor? I don't know yet, because you know, we have to think about sanitation. Is a nurse allowed to do that? No. And maybe that's where we are right now. Are we on a par with nurses in terms of hygiene and sanitation? And I think we are. Okay. So what a privilege that is, to have that. But remember your presentation and your image. Remember to keep sanitizing your visor. Okay. Still, in my opinion, it's important. I've just taken my face covering off. I had it around my neck, but I was hot when I walked over here to come and do this. I took it off and put it down on the desk. But the face covering is what protects others. So when you're in the salon, if you're not able to, and sometimes you're not, if you're not able to keep, you haven't got your visor on and you can't keep 2 meters from the team, that's okay. There's no law that says you can't, but you do have to. The 1 meter plus means that you think about it. And that's what the face covering is for. It's to protect others from you. We haven't got to wear gloves for anything other than what we were wearing gloves for before. And that's good. It's been proven that when I see people wearing gloves, I'm like, that is not helping anybody. And it's not helping you, right? They're no safer than your own hands, as long as you're regularly sanitizing. Okay. And I know you've all got lots of sanitizer. You've got lots of sanitizer from us too. That's good. And remember to keep telling the clients we're committed to the health and safety of our clients and team. Okay, remember to keep, it's a USP now, especially when we're steaming in front of clients. You know, our salons look so clean and lovely, where they've been deep cleaned. I'm sure you've been through and chucked away, you know, everything that looked a little bit shabby. And so let's make sure we communicate that USP to our clients, right? So they are, you know, they're feeling that that's being reinforced to them. That will be part of the client walking out of there and saying, wow, that was the best experience I've had for 3 months. Do you remember when I did the webinar and I talked about the children went back to school and Bertie got, his groomer was back and Bertie got a haircut? It was the most normal day I'd had for months. It was amazing. I was so happy. Your clients can go out of your door the most happy they've been for 3 months. Dec, can you take this back? Because it's actually not that easy to, on this, I guess it's because the table is, there you go. Sanitation protocols, right. So you need to practice only essential contact, right? So just because we're allowed back, it doesn't mean that everything's back to normal. Frequent hand washing and sanitizing. Or if you are doing back-to-back clients, as we are in Feathers, if you move from one client to another just to go and look, on your way across, take your sanitizer out and sanitize your hands, right? Ask your questions. Ask your clients. Share with me any of your concerns. Share with me any of your concerns, and then I can address them. We've actually put it on our reminders that we're sending out. Please tell us how we can make you feel more comfortable. We've had lots of clients who have expressed how they will feel more comfortable. If we can't accommodate what it is that they need to feel more comfortable, don't have them in the salon, because they're the ones who are going to go out and go, oh my God, it was terrible. That, you know, that they're only going to see negativity in the salon, right? So if you've got clients that are that concerned, right, that they're asking you to do things you can't do, maybe, I don't know, then maybe they should just wait a little longer. And so many are. I'm sure you've got many. We've got clients who are saying, well, thank you for the phone call, but I actually want to wait a little bit longer. Okay. And that's okay. Some clients are still shielding, of course. Declan, can you come have the next slide, please? So let's think about the salon hygiene. By now, we've deep cleaned the salons, right? Make sure you sanitize regularly. The signals, like that's what I mean about the steamer. Make sure that clients can see that that is happening. So think about, your reception areas. The government talk about in the 40-odd page document, they talk about what they call the high traffic areas, and reception's one of them. What I'm going to say is we can't have any people hanging around reception. We can't have that. If you are waiting for a client who's about to walk through the door, don't stand by reception. Stand further back and come forward. Decide what you're going to do about your waiting area, your styling stations, all of these things you've thought about. And this comes under, we're committed to the health and safety of our clients and team. Next slide, please, Declan. Let's get to some of the ones. Let's keep the focus on here. The client's going to ask, how have you been? So if staying at home for you has been great, you can say it was great. We're all happy and healthy. How about you? Turn it back to the client. Okay. The client does not want to hear about how for 3 months you learned how to bake, knitting. I don't know what you've done, right? We've all done something, gardening, whatever it is. Client doesn't want to know. Okay. She's not interested. Turn it back to the client. Client might ask you, are you excited to be back to work? Again, you can say staying at home was great, but I'm happy to be here now. And with you, right? How about you? Are you back at work? Turn it back to the client. Are you staying safe with all these clients? You say we're taking our sanitation and our protocols seriously, right? Because we are. That's why we're all on here. So next slide, please, Dec. Keep the conversation professional. Now, back to focusing on you and your hair. Practice that. So that if the conversation is going slightly off track, practice that you, in your head, you go, oh, now back to focusing on you and your hair. One of the things that is in the government guidelines is it says we are not allowed to play loud music in the salons. Okay, that's actually in the guidelines. We are not allowed to play loud music in the salons. Somebody tell me why that is. Let's see if somebody knows. Let's see. Yeah, because if the music is loud, right, we have to project our voice, okay? And that is one of the things, of course, that makes droplets come out further. So the government have said the music's got to be loud. So now in thinking about this, it gives us the opportunity to keep the chatter in the salon, 1, lower, and 2, no chatter at all. So as part of the health and safety risk assessment at Feathers, the team, as well as their visor, which they have to wear, it's mandatory, they are going to wear a face covering when they're shampooing because the client's head is just here. And I'm not satisfied myself, right, that's safe enough. So that's part of our health and safety risk assessment. I frankly am amazed that the government have missed that. I'm concerned a client, I would lay back like that in the basin and look up and think, oh, golly, she's literally there, right? So we're doing that. But we are also telling clients that at the backwash, we're not speaking. Now, with the exception of asking the client if the water's okay, right? And, if the temperature's okay, with the exception of that, right? But we're not going to do any talking. I'm so happy. I've been trying to implement that at backwashes for years. So the client not speaking. Now focusing back to you on your hair. Okay, so what can I do to help you? Now your clients might not say that out loud, but if you listen, I don't watch television. You might tell me that there are some adverts like this on television. If there are, tell me. I wouldn't know, but on the radio, there are some adverts now where businesses are saying there's one for a car manufacturer. I think it might be Mazda, who says, we've not been doing anything like you. We've not been doing anything for 3 months. And now we're back in business. We need your help. We need to get our business. That's their advert, right? I think it's Mazda. If it's not, if someone's heard it and it's not Mazda, then please correct me. There's actually an advert out there which is about the high street and local community. I'm sure you want to get back to your independent. I'm sure you've missed independent businesses. So this is a thing. It's a culture. okay, that we're in. So your clients want to help you. So make sure that you ask your clients, tell your friends and family about me. I would love to do their hair. This is so that as we get along the way, we've got some new clients that have been recommended to us. Now, Brittany told me that one of the things that had really shocked her is that some of her clients who normally book regular 6 weeks, 6 weeks, 6 weeks, 6 weeks, have said to her, I want to make it 8 weeks because then that's a longer amount of time that I go before I've got to come back in, right, and put themselves at risk. Okay, so you know, we know that we're probably going to need this down the line. You can tell your clients, please book your appointments ahead so that you get your favorite slot and we can forecast forward. Right? If you don't want to say forecast forward, you can say, then we also know as a business what our workload is. Okay. Client, you can ask your clients, take my recommendations and advice by buying your home care from us. It would help us tremendously. And if you think, oh gosh, you know, that's a bit forward, let me tell you that Kim's on here, I'm sure, Leanna. Those girls tell their clients openly. Carly does too, and I can see Carly's voice there. Voice, I can see her, Carly, commenting on there. They tell their clients, when you buy your products from me, you are supporting me, my career, my education, right? So it's okay to do that, right? Is that right, Kim? That you tell your clients when you take my recommendation? Yeah, she said, look, they love hearing that. On our Salon Love app, right, it actually, when somebody gets a Salon Love order, they actually get a card in there and it says, thank you for supporting your favorite salon and stylist in the Salon Love. On the Salon Love app, it talks all the time about supporting your independent hairdresser. So this is a thing now, okay? So give me or give us a review. We love to celebrate reviews and it would really help our business, right? So get in your clients, you know, get that dialogue and get it in somewhere there. Do that. Do it for the business. Do it for yourself, for your own career. And I promise you, your clients will be so happy to have the opportunity to help you. The next one, Dec. Now, part of your anxiousness, I know, is because you know when you go back, you've got to do things a little bit differently. Okay, but this is a thing. You imagine yourself into a new way. So that's what's happening at the moment. You're playing it through in your head. When I was talking about visiting a restaurant at the weekend, I'm playing it through in my head. But we're imagining ourselves into a new way, right? That's what we're doing. And then once we actually get into the salon, I call it when the rubber hits the road, you've got to, at first, act yourself into a new way, right? And if you think about it as acting, you won't go back to the old ways. Don't go back to the old ways, okay? Make it a permanent thing. I want you to be successful. And this, I've told so many hairdressers, this is an opportunity like I've never known in our industry. Normally, people have to leave a salon and go to a new salon to make change. We don't have to do that. It's a fabulous opportunity. So the professional you says, I'm grateful for the opportunity to pause and reflect, to spend some time and reset. You know, what we've learned is that we value our families, we value our community because we miss them so much, right? And we value our industry. We've missed being at work. We've missed our clients. We've missed our colleagues. We've missed the opportunity to doing hair every day. We must remember that. I value the opportunities that exist and I'm excited for the future. I've learned that life is precious and the world is fragile, right? That's what we've learned. I've learned that health is wealth and being a part of my community is rewarding. I want to contribute to the world and I have much to give, right? That was a professional statement that I wrote one morning. I woke up in the morning and I wrote that down, right? Because I thought, how do I express how I'm feeling right now? And you have the opportunity to demonstrate yourself as the professional you. Next slide, Dec. And that's all my slides. That's good. That's excellent. It is a webinar that we've done before. I wanted to do it as a recap, so that we can really hit the ground running. We've got some questions, so let's take the questions, because I don't want this to be a long one today for any of us. We've all got a lot to do. What do we do if clients arrive in gloves? They'll still have to use sanitizer on entering. So how do we say? Okay, that's interesting, Anna, because you see people entering shops and the such like, you know, with hand sanitizer, and you see them not using the hand sanitizer. It's not mandatory. Here's what I would do, Anna. Okay, I'm thinking about what would I do in a situation like that. I would still put it in the hands of the client with the gloves on, because if there's anything on the gloves, right, the sanitizer will take it off. We know that this virus, and any virus, is actually quite easily killed with hand sanitizer and water. We know that. Okay, so if a client arrives in gloves, right, if I were you, what have I done with mine? I would ignore, I would act as if the gloves are not there, and I would still go like that. Now, at that point, the client might take them off, and then you can sanitize. Or if she just goes like that, and if she says, oh, I've got gloves on, then you just say, very elegantly, always do it elegantly, you just say, it's mandatory that every client must sanitize their hands as they come in. It's fine that you can sanitize over the top of the gloves. Okay, that's fine. People are going to do what they feel most comfortable with, and that's okay. If they want to bring their own sanitizer in and tea tree wipes, what's your thoughts? I've already said that if they've got their own sanitizer, that's fine. You know, some people are worried about the, you know, the condition of their hands, and some people maybe have a favourite sanitizer. I've got to tell you that Daniel and I went to IKEA, and it was an essential trip that we had to make to get some stuff for feathers. And their hand sanitizer, you could get drunk on it. Oh my God, it is the most, it took my breath away. As I smelt it, I went, it took my breath away. It's that strong with alcohol. So when I got towards the tills and they've got another sanitizer up, I used my own. I didn't want to use theirs. So it's okay if clients want to do that. What about the fact it's optional for clients to wear masks? Yeah, it's fine, because if you see the visor, the thing about the visor is it protects both. So if a client wants to wear a mask, that's okay. And if she doesn't have to. It doesn't really, it's not really going to affect you if you've got the visor on at all. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. I have got a tip, and I've said it a few times, but I'm going to say it again in case anybody's not heard it. If the client wants to wear her mask and let's say you need her to remove it from around her ears or around the back of her head because you need to get to the hair, a little tip, if you get some surgical tape, you could tape it to her face, or you could ask her just to hold it there. Some people are a little bit nervous about putting their hands to their face, but you know, that's another tip. Some of these things, of course, you're going to have to deal with as you go along, but know that the mask is not protecting you while you've got the visor on. Okay, and you can tell the client that. You can say, with this visor, the purpose of us mandatorily wearing this visor is that it protects me and it protects you. All right. When using the deox, do we still use conditioner? Yes, you do. And Maria's answered there. Maria is our Malibu Sea ambassador for the UK, and she's answering right there for you. Are we allowing guests to bring their own drinks to the salon? We are inviting. We're not providing anything at Feathers. We are inviting clients to bring their own. That's what we're doing. And we've just put, we're inviting, you know, you're welcome to bring your own. That's all we've put. We've put our refreshment service is suspended. You're welcome to bring your own. That's all we've put. Any more questions? Any more? No? I can see some people typing. Okay, so I just want to remind everybody that there are some videos up there on the Passion for Hair YouTube. If you've got any questions, go to the Passion for Hair Stylist hotline. Whilst we are really busy here at Passion for Hair, our educators are still all in the Passion for Hair hotline, so you can are you cutting with gloves on? No, Becky, there's no requirement to wear gloves for anything other than what you would normally wear gloves for. So in other words, colouring or using chemicals. So the only time we are required to wear gloves is with chemicals. Cutting with gloves on doesn't make you any safer, okay? Or the client any safer. So so you can go to the Passion for Hair hotline. The educators are all there. If you want anything, there's plenty of videos up there. This is recorded, Janice, and so this will be up. How long does it take us to get them up on the? It'll be up this afternoon on our YouTube channel. So up there on the YouTube channel. Yeah, all of the ones are. If you've got any questions, whether they be about Malibu, Census, whether it be about the Fast 10 colour, and the Fast 10, that's been one of our best launches ever, the Fast 10 colour. So whether it be about whatever it is, right? There's no such thing as a bad question, right? Only information that we don't yet know or things that we're not sure about. And one of the things I know for sure is that right now, none of us know everything and we are all feeling a little nervous, but I want to wish you all the best of luck. Go for it. Make this your moment. Make this your magic moment. I won't be speaking to you like this again before you all go back. But do remember, I did say next Wednesday, I will be back 11 o'clock next Wednesday. I'm not expecting a big audience, okay, but I am expecting the Welsh. But if you can join us, then you're welcome to. If it's become a fundamental part of what you do and you're not with a client, you're welcome to be with us. So I want to wish you all a happy day and mwah.